I'm going to first share more information about myself, what I do, and who I am. So I'm Anton Minkowski. I'm founder of Remote Camp. We built already like 24 camps in 24 countries for last year and a half. We achieved some results. It's startup when we group remote workers together. So they can work, travel, and live together. And they can support each other in different ways. But also we built now next level, we built an online school for them as well. So we help them to be business developer. But this is really related to this topic of this conference, because these people, these digital nomads, they travel around the world, they meet some locals people, they integrate really deep inside of the community, local community, so they can really easy to sell anything really, to even any kind of business. So I start do this myself, even I had more technical background before. And now I'm more as a business developer, work for many companies and help them to launch the product in a new market. And it's not only about LATAM, it's like I help some company in Germany, some company in Egypt, some company in LATAM, for sure, in India and Africa. So it's like completely international and worldwide, not only like specific region. So how I do this? So first, I'm going to share with you some cases what's happened. Like, for example, couple of like months and a half, I present one Singaporean startup in South Summit, which is like a really big deal in Brazil region. It's the first time when South Summit from Spain, the conference, really big one, come to Brazil. And I was in a stage with 20,000 people around and made a speech about this startup, and found for them like 100 leads in this conference. It was like investors around the world, everyone. And it's really was only possible because I was at that time in this specific region, in this specific place, and I communicate with a lot of people around. So, and this is first example, which I helped really fast for like just 1 week, find a client like 100, like one company find 100 clients. The second is I built here a community with 150 people for crypto project. We organize events, conference here like every week, and I help them like to grow the business like 3 times during this like last couple of months. And it was also possible only because I was really deep integrated in the local community. So I'm going to share with you some tips how I do this and what is my flow a bit later. So another case is in Bulgaria. When I was traveling last year, I was traveling in Balkan region. Also, I met some people who introduced me to another people. So I was a speaker in a Bansko conference. So also like during the time, I helped myself, not even like different companies, but my own company to bring like 200 clients to my own service, only because I was really deep integrated in the conference and the community around. So, and the last, I think is not least, is Egypt conference, which I was more than a year ago. And only because I'm travel around Egypt and meet really wonderful people there, I create a tech conference between Russian startups and Egypt startups and help both sides to bring the more clients together and like to collaborate together. So how I do this? The first is I find local, like before even trip to go to another place. For example, I think next month I'm going to be Colombia, and I'm already 1 month and ahead, try to discover, find all community which I can find in Facebook, WhatsApp, and Telegram. Usually it's easy to find by just keywords, because it's like it doesn't really matter what kind of community. First is you need to just find a community. You don't need to worry about like, is it good community or bad, or like compare them. No, it's just really roughly any community. So most of the countries, like really in any place in the world, probably you can find English exchange community, you can find nomad community almost everywhere. You have specific websites like Nomad List where you can find, but you have to pay like really small to have a membership there. But you can find them, some communities, and crypto communities. So it's most of them you can find really simple and really fast. So after that, it's you still work online. You're not really present in this area. You start to ask questions, people. So first is super simple, super dumb questions, but about business. You don't need to sell anything. This is really important because people don't really want to see you as a salesperson. They want to see you as a just random guy, person who just want to travel to this area, or about crypto, or about renting house, whatever. And you really want to go there. It's not like you just sit in like in your country, in like, for example, in my case, in Florida, in Brazil, and just sell. No, I'm really go to Colombia, but I don't need to go there and stay like for a long time. I can stay there like a couple of days. So I can find a place for rent and communicate with a lot of owners. Most of them, they have really good salary and good position in some companies. So you already start to have connections. So second is when you communicate with English exchange community, or crypto community, or even sport community, it's again, it's not locals who work like, I don't know, in a coffee shop. No, they really in a high position because they like, again, like if they speak English or they participate in expensive sport activities. So they have money, they in a high position as a company, so you can start communicating with them. So you can share about yourself. And next, even before you arrived, you can create events. So you're like, okay, I'm going to be in Colombia, so let's create an event about like, I don't know, about crypto, whatever. It's really not so important. In my case, for example, I organized first event here in Floripa when I arrived in January, and it was like in 1 week I found like 30 people. So just they all come to the place. It was like 54 in a group, but 30 online, offline. So basically, the next step is create a group and make it active group. So you ask some questions, share some news. This is really important because this group is your social, how can I say, budget? I don't know. It's your social money, whatever. So because people can recognize you about that. And you really need to share photos and videos about every event when what you will build there. Or maybe in the past, it doesn't really matter. So also you can use Tinder. It's also really good source of communication with people. You don't really need to date anybody. It's just like you can share Instagram or ask Instagram, and just because you in Instagram share your photos and videos, people will attract you and see like, hey, it's a good place and it's a good event. Probably I'm going to participate there. And that's it. You don't need to even text a lot with these people. It's just like also another channel to communicate with people. And because you can see how people like, if you have like premium account, for example, you can select people you really want based on some, I don't know, characteristics, and yeah, attract them, only a specific group. And it's really powerful tool as well. So I think you have to use it. So next, when you already arrive to the place, I'm trying to participate in most of the activities like city tours, whatever. But also like I participate in sport activities, so in local sport clubs. Usually it's again like most of the rich people or most of the people who has high rating, whatever, in position in some companies, they all also participate in some sports all the time, like in every country I'm in. I usually try to work in the co-working spaces, also not because I really like co-working space. It's more because you can communicate with people there, and you can share this that you're going to create event like next week, whatever. So you can come and join us. So every time you go somewhere, you create event in a popular place, in a popular cafe place, and you try to organize all your activities in like kind of crowded places, so you can share with people information about your events or your group. So after a while, like it took me now probably like 2 weeks, then it's already like 50, 100 people, local people who speak English, who kind of like high in position in some companies, and they kind of share the same values that what you can provide. So you can start to communicate with them and ask them like direct, like, let's have online meetup or offline, let's have a dinner, whatever. And you can already start to sell something, or you can just talk with them about your service, so your products, for example. So you can find all clients through this process, or you can find clients for your clients. So it's both ways good. So next, it's already after event. This is really important to have photos and videos, as I told you, because people nowadays, they look on like content. They want to see how it's good. So probably sometimes I hire some people who like make a photos and videos, and especially videos, because it's for stories is more important. So what else I want to share with you? Yeah, attend local conferences. It's also important. Try to attend like any events what you see in the region, and but in a different ways. Not really to try to sell everything and communicate with everyone. It really doesn't work anymore. I don't think like last time when it worked. In my case, I try to find organizations this conference and try to communicate with this person, because I want to learn more how he built this, and maybe he will invite me next time to the conference and like to be a speaker. Or I try to find sponsors, so also to communicate with them why they participate in this conference. It's also important not really try to sell directly in the conference, because nobody really sell anything, like really rare. Most of the time you try to build a connection, deeper connection for next event, for next days, for long term. So what else I want to say? Oh yeah, because people now they have like really a lot of activities, events around, and most of them online. People faster forget you, so you need to like keep in touch with them. Just share some news, like local news about Colombia, whatever. Like in my case, like I tried to say about Colombia, but it might be in anywhere. Try to find a local person who can be your, not kind of assistant, but maybe representative. In my case, like I have 24 camps around the world. So I found like locals who really friendly, who also want to build a network. Oh, they already start to build networks. They already have even like maybe group. So I just try to help him to grow it faster, or make it like earn some money. And usually, because locals, they don't really have a lot of money. I mean, this kind of person like who try to build network. So it's kind of easy to communicate with this person and give them like valuable feedback and help them. So in my case, like for example, in Egypt, in the Dominican Republic, or in Turkey, it was super easy to find really good person who really want to make really big network there, but he cannot earn money. So I just help him to do this. So what else? Oh yeah, and last, I think what I want to share is also a tip that inside of the group you can create small group, like private group, and to also create a video and photo of like really powerful and whatever private group that you can do something like really cool. So people who in a like common group, they will see this, you have like private events, and they want to be part of this. But in order to be part of this, it's not really they need to pay. They need to be like in the top position, whatever. So they will going to or share the news about this private private group to their friends. So they attract some friends and bring them together to your club. So it's going to be again beneficial for you. And this is kind of private community going bigger as well. So yeah, probably what else I want to share? Oh yeah, and probably the last is like again, you want to keep in touch with them in the long term. So even like you left the country and maybe like passed already like half a year, you want to communicate with them. So you need the tool like calendar, whatever, to remind you that like you need to keep in touch with this person, this country, in this country. It's important because sooner or later you will come back to this place, or some client will ask you about help you in this region or whatever. So, and you have already someone over there, or this person maybe come to your place, to your region. And because like I'm in digital nomad community and people like move constantly around, I grew a really big network of foreigners around the world. So basically when it was like business case, I tried to help one big company to find good market for like in the 8 regions. It was so simple for me to just find these people and say, okay, this India, can you help me with this city? This Africa, I have like 3 cities, like, can you help me with that? So it was like, I didn't pay anything. I didn't really spend a lot of time to find this information. It was really simple because I have all this valuable connection. So yeah, they not really give me money at that time, but they bring me value now. So this is why it's like the community is really powerful tool, and it's really important to start to do this early as possible, to be honest, because it takes you maybe sometimes 1 year to have some value back, sometimes like 1 week. Probably this is what I want to share with you today.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a very interesting and unusual approach, I would say, because not all of the people they are just go deep to the local communities, build some new connections. Yeah, it's very important. And we have some questions to you, Anthony. First question is, what would be your advice for people who just start building their international network? Do they need to travel a lot, or maybe they need to do something else?
No, not really. They need to travel a lot. Travel is like just part of my lifestyle. It's not really I love to travel. It's more I love people, to communicate and find new people. So basically, when I built first community, it was like back in Russia, like 2 years, 3 years already ago, and it was online when this pandemic started, and it was all online. I didn't do anything, to be honest. It's just even now I built another community in Russia as well, and this was I'm already like 1 year and a half not there. It's just you attract people by I think your willingness to share some information. You kind of care about people, what they want to share. You listen them, and yeah, just communicate with people. You don't need to do much. You don't need to invest a lot of like money. Like you don't need to invest any money, to be honest. You don't need to invest a lot of time. It's more about like, okay, I like to communicate with people, or I want to communicate with some people. I can invite as like anybody, like really my clients or cool people around me to like webinar, and just create webinar, like whatever. It's gonna be like just this communication with that, or like, yeah, and just record this and share in a Telegram group, whatever, or Facebook group, and invite them to this like special community. Like again, you can create a group in WhatsApp, Telegram, but like anywhere, and invite them and just share some your ideas there, and like, oh, just communicate them. Let's go, let's guys talk about movies, whatever. Let's talk about concerts, music concerts, like whatever. You don't need to even think long about like the topic. What you're gonna discuss is gonna be like just your willingness to listen other people and share some information about yourself, about your ideas. Yeah, I think this is first advice.
Yeah, thank you. And you mentioned a very interesting topic about coming back to some people you know from different countries from time to time. And I think that this is a strategic work with your base, with your or target audience base. And maybe could you please give more specifics? Maybe some periods of time, maybe you have some methodology, how you do it?
Oh, yeah, this is the hardest part because, yeah, in my case, I kind of communicate more than probably 100 new people every week. So it's, yeah, I have like really big group of people with who I have to keep in touch. And yeah, I tried to build CRM system like a couple of times. It didn't work well. I think like there's some tools, online tools, where you can just upload all your contacts and they will remind you to I don't know, to contact them like once in a while. This is kind of work some days, sometimes not. In my case, Instagram works better compared to many other tools because in Instagram you can see their like stories or like posts, and you will see, oh yeah, I've like, it's kind of reminder you that like this person, because I don't really remember the like name or like or avatar of the person, but when I see the post, say, oh, this guy, I remember he's from Macedonia. Okay, we met that time. Okay, let's I can ask some questions. It doesn't matter, it's just like random question, whatever. So he will remind about me like again once in a while. It not always works as also like, but this is extra tool, extra what you can use. But again, I think the best advice, like what I start to think, is again invite people to conference. For example, in digital nomad world, there are some big conference in Bulgaria, in Mexico, in Bali, in Thailand. So most of the people who I met, they sooner or later they will be there. Maybe not every year, but you can remind them, or you can ask them like, oh yeah, are you going to be there in this conference? Again, some conference like in the IT world, again, like South Summit or Web Summit, again, you can ask them about this. It doesn't matter if they're going to be there or not, but they will, like, you will remind them about yourself. So yeah, I think this is good. It's just like conference, they have like schedules, you have like specific dates, it's every year. And yeah, you can just ask like a lot of, for like 100 people or 1,000 people, just the same question. I think this is best solution.
Thank you. And if I understood correctly, you focus on building informal relationships with people and without selling anything, and we'll just figure out a bit later how you can collaborate. Is it correct?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think direct sales works well if like only in one way. If client approach you directly and ask like, yeah, I want your service, tell me about your service. So this is good. You can sell directly. But when you communicate with people, you don't really want people sell you like service or tools right away. You want to more like know people. You want to like, yeah, communicate at least like about something unrelated. It's like it's polite way to communicate with people first, like even like informal dialogue about anything, and only after that to come to business. Business is just part of the life. It's not really all life. You don't need to always think about business. So that's why, like, I think informal way of selling anything is much better and much beneficial than just sell directly. But
Yeah,
again,
makes sense.
yeah.
Makes sense. And I have a question about LinkedIn. Do you use it in maybe community building or networking processes?
Oh, yeah, I used LinkedIn, but to be honest, it's not really good tool to build community. It's good tool to find like some people in your community and like learn about them, like like contacts, you find them, okay, you understand he's from this company, and so now you can like ask them about this company, about something about business related. But it's not really, people don't really want to chat informally in an informal way in LinkedIn. They want just really easy, like make easy answer and or simple questions, like I don't know, about business. It's all about business. But yeah, but anyway, you have to, after even you find some contacts there, convert them to another like messenger apps, whatever, Facebook, like in any other tool. You don't really even like, yeah, in my case, like I don't really even like arrange meetings there, like only just chat, exchange something, like maybe share some documents, that's it. But after that, I convert them to like I don't know, WhatsApp or Telegram or like Facebook.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for for sharing your experience. And I have probably the last question. Um, we understood your approach that it's very informal, based on the communities. When you, for example, become a part of the local communities and communicate to people, uh, it, does this approach bring you B2B leads from large companies, or it's more about small and medium business? What do you think about it?
Large company, to be honest, brings any kind of size clients. So it's not really about the size. It's just depends in which circles you like work, because you can find investor really big and really large who like work with like $100 million. And again, it's also like he will be like, I met some really big millionaires in the club, just in the club, and he was just like just normal guy who just drink beer, sit. It's not really, again, probably in Soviet Union, we see this kind of image that like millionaires, like they should be in yacht or in a really expensive car, so you cannot touch them or approach. No, like in all these countries where I've been for last couple of years, yeah, even before when I was in New Zealand, like people, they don't really build a wall around themselves. So like they really open and they really easygoing. So like you really easy to communicate with them. They also go to gyms, they go to like swimming pool. So it's not just like small people. No, you can find Zuckerberg on the beach. It's not really a big problem. And it's just like, again, it's going to be much easier to you to sell anything to Zuckerberg on the beach than try to sell them like in LinkedIn. Like, I think it's even not possible to sell anything to Zuckerberg in the LinkedIn. Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
this is.
Thank you so much. So as an outcome, I would say that, yeah, be open and open to new connections, any people, any communities. Yeah, and you'll find
Yeah.
your audience. Yeah, thank you so much, Anthony. Very unique and wonderful experience of traveling and connecting to different people from around the world. So thank you.